You should paint. Specifically, go to the store, grab some of the cheapest acrylic you can find and a canvas, and get busy painting. Painting is a form of self-care. It allows you to relax, be mindful in the moment, use your senses, and enjoy color. Who should paint? Everyone should paint. From the very young to the very old and all of us in between, there is no talent needed to paint. I was one who believed that painting definitely was not for me because I did not consider myself talented. I'm one who, when a little child asks me to draw something for them, maybe a kitty cat or a cow, that child looks at the finished product and says, no thanks, I can do better. So I was reluctant when my friends signed me up for a paint night where you pay for a painting class complete with all of your materials. We were painting a sailboat, which of course was crazy. There's no way I was capable of painting a sailboat. But I went along for the friendship and the fun and discovered I love painting. Here's my sailboat from that first class. After that first class, I was compelled to share this painting experience with others. My mom, who was recently retired and then widowed, found herself with way too much time. I took her to paint night, and she's now turned her dining room into her own little art studio. She's found friends to paint with. It brings her joy and I think peace. I also give my students opportunity to paint. I give them canvas and paint, and sometimes I give them a tutorial. Other times I leave them free to paint as their spirit leads. It's become one of the most popular activities of the school year. The paintings you are seeing today were painted either by myself or someone I love and care about, by my mom, my daughters, or one of my students. Now let's talk about how to get started. I strongly suggest you take a class. Look up Paint Night or Yaymaker classes near you. It's worth the $35 to $45 for the materials they provide, the confidence they build, and the instructor's expertise. Take a friend, you'll have fun and come home with a masterpiece. Or you can start by looking at online tutorials. Look at YouTube, start by searching Paint and Sip, and you'll need to provide your own materials. There are also websites that offer step-by-step written instructions. My favorite so far has been Learn to Draw and Paint with Dania. I found the instructions for this painting there, and I've had hours of relaxation adding layers of paint doodles. I've also discovered that you can just have fun spreading color on canvas, and that turns into a great decoration. Or you can transfer your love of painting to an entire classroom wall and make a really bold statement. You can purchase painting supplies from any art store, but my mom and I have found that inexpensive brands from Walmart work just as well. Do yourself a favor, get the cheap stuff, except maybe for yellow paint, you might want a more expensive yellow to get that vibrant color you're looking for. You need to paint, but don't just take my word for it. Research backs me up. A study done in England found that people who spend time experiencing art at museums and concerts had a 31% lower risk of dying. I'm extrapolating here, but I think that if you just experience art and it has that type of positive effect, it just makes sense that actually creating art should help us all to live longer. In another study of new moms, researchers found that 20 weeks of art therapy painting class lowered postpartum depression while increasing self-esteem and mother-infant bonding. And a 2012 study found that creative activities improved the mental health of patients. I also have my own anecdotal evidence of painting's benefits, especially for young people. Every year, students get to volunteer to paint murals for our school play. Recently, a group of 5 painters were all working away on a mural, and they started talking. They discovered that all at the table had divorced parents in common. And then they started sharing, each of them telling the story of the day they learned that their parents would be divorcing. I sat there silent, being very careful not to break the spell. These were not students who usually were open with each other, and I believe painting gave them a safe space for vulnerability and sharing and even some healing. So what are you waiting for? Run out to that Walmart, get some paint, some canvas, and get started. Or better yet, sign up for one of those paint nights. Here are my citations, which I will also leave on the Moodle classroom.